everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I've got a fun card style to share with you all. I have made a few of these before. They've got different names like a diorama, shadow pop-up cards, floating frame cards. So I'll just put a few of them together and they'll be in a playlist here, and I'll have some videos linked at the end as well. But I've made this like little box of pigs in blankets. So I've used these adorable stamps, which I'll show you in a moment. And on the front it says pigs in blankets used by the 25th of 12th 2023. When you open it up, you've got a little box of pigs. Well, in my case, I think they look like pigs in Brussels sprouts because I've used Christmas colours, so the greens and the reds there. And I think they look like pigs in pigs in sprouts. There we go. Or pigs in sprouts blankets. I just think they're very, very sweet. So if you do like novelty Christmas cards, hopefully you'll enjoy this tutorial from me today. It's very straightforward to make. You don't need any specialty dies or anything. And of course, it doesn't have to be a Christmas theme. This will work for many, many occasions. And you can also have it this way as well. So, you know, you can completely change the orientation. I think as a shop window and maybe a little Christmas scene inside, or looking through someone's house and they've got their Christmas tree in the fire, I think that could look really cute with this card style as well. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. Okay, so first of all, we need our card blank. So this is a piece of 12 by 6. And along the 12-inch side, you just want to score at 6 inches. So just right down through the middle, fold that in half. And you'll see I've already cut my aperture out of this one. So I just used one of my square dies. And if you want to get it near to what I've got, it's about 4 5/8 squared. Okay, so just die cut that. This will go through a standard die machine because of the 6-inch width. So just lay your die down and run that one through so you've got that opening. You'll then want to cut a piece of 7 by 6, but I have brought it just slightly under 6 just so it stays all within that card size. And then along the 7-inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch and 6.5. Okay, this end here where you've just got the 1/2 inch piece, just cut a very thin slither off. It will just reduce some of the bulk when we go to attach it into there. You'll see there it's just slightly under the 7 inches. And then again in the main section, if I just fold all of those score lines, I've used the same die that I used here to cut my aperture. So just line it up within this section here. You'll have a slightly thicker side than you will to the top and the bottom borders. Okay, but just get that as centered as you can and cut that. So now I want to add my acetate, and I'm actually going to stick it on the front, and then I'm going to add my frame on top of that. This piece of acetate here I think was 5.5 squared, so this is optional. You might not be cutting into the front of your card. This could just all be pattern paper. You can have a nice sentiment, but I did like the thought of being able to see all of the cute little pigs in blankets through the acetate or through the top of the card. So I'm just going to use some of my double-sided tape and just run that all around the edges. Okay, take the backing all off and then just stick that over the top there. Whenever you're using acetate, if you just then really burnish it, you can ensure it's really stuck. Can you see this is much darker, whereas this is still quite white? So just always give your tape a good burnish. It does make a big difference. Okay, I've then cut myself this frame here, just using, I had a piece of this in my stash. This is 5 3/4 squared, and again I've cut the same size square into this piece. You might also not be using a square, you might have a circle opening or aperture, so whatever size you've used to cut, just use that for all of these pieces. Again, just line it up in the middle of this piece, and then when you go to stick it down, you'll get a nice green border there. Now because I've got the acetate on there, I'm going to use my tape again. In fact, I'm going to stick the tape on the acetate and then attach the pattern paper. So by sticking it on the top of the card as opposed to underneath, it just means all the bulk's on the top and not added to the inside, along with the bulk that I'm going to have from the stamped images there. It's still going to be a relatively flat card, but I'll probably end up making one of my bouncy envelopes for this one, or even possibly putting it in a box envelope, and I'll have all those tutorials linked. So just focus on one of your corners, get that just kind of tacked into place, and then you can just work your way down. Okay, so now we've got the front of our card. I'm going to give the acetate a good clean in a bit. Then with this piece here, you want the side where you've just got the one tab, that's going to stick on the back here. Oh, just lift that up. It's going to stick this piece against this piece here, and then this is going to stick down like so. So you've got a little bit left at the top there, because when this folds down, you'll see it all folds within that space. So I'm going to take my quick grab glue and just run it all along. And just talking about the acetate again, if you don't make the top of the card an aperture, you could add acetate onto this piece. Just stick a piece on the back side there. So lie this down flat, right up to the fold. And this is why I said about cutting this piece slightly smaller than 6 inches. You want to make sure it is inside the card there. You don't want it overhanging. Bring up this and just butt that right up to the fold and then close it down. And just make sure down the sides here, all of that card is concealed. So now when you open this, it pulls this up, creating this kind of little box. Then on this end, you're going to add your glue to the very end panel and then fold those two under. Okay, so we've got one and then the one with the glue. So fold that under and you're going to close the card completely. So this way we know it all folds flat, so we know it's going to go in our envelope. Again, when you now open this, it pulls that all up. So we've got this kind of floating shadow box. So you could have this card this way if you wanted to, but I want it to open like a box. So you could have chocolates in here. Like I said, I have done similar before with the donuts and stuff. So check out those tutorials, and the pizza one's really good. Now, I think I was going to have a white on the bottom. So I cut this piece of card here, which should slide in. Yeah, so I was going to have white. But then I thought it was possibly too white, so I'm going to just lay these down. So I stamped and coloured 6 of the, so cute. Again, if you haven't seen me rabbling on about this Cute Christmas by Adventures in Ink, there's 6 different characters. I shared them in the What Did I Get video, and I've done, so far the penguin's gone up, I think the polar bear, and then this one. I think that's the order I had them in my head to do, and then I've got the others as well. But I just wanted to do one just with the pigs in blankets, and I think I might give this to my nan, because when she saw this stamp set, or I'd coloured the image and showed her, she went, oh my God, I love the pigs in blankets. So I think this might be for my nan, because it will make her smile. Anyway, yes, there's so much more. I want to do a card with the other characters as well, or the other, you know, kind of little pigs there. So, but I just coloured these. Actually, I've got the colours here as well, if anybody wants to know. It wasn't that one, but to colour the pig, I think I used the brighter ones. Yes, it was these. So I used the light green blend. This is the tri-blend brush ones by Spectrum Noir. With the, for the pig pink, I used the pale pink extend. And then I use for the red, these are some old Arteza ones that I've got. I used the tomato red with the ruby red. So they're the colours that I used to colour the pig. And then I just used a little bit of grey just on the bobble hat there. Now, when I was colouring these, because I wanted the green and the red together, but I thought they looked like they could be wrapped in Brussels sprouts. So I just think it's a perfect style. So that's it against the white. I'm just going to quickly pop the green in, because I'm sure I thought in the end I preferred the green. Plus the frame popped a bit more as well against the green. So that's them against the green, which I think I prefer. And like I said, I think it makes this pop a little bit more. But I am going to emboss the green piece as well. So I'm going to choose one of my embossing folders. I'll just give you the measurements to this, because this might be a piece of pattern paper. You know, it's entirely up to you. So we've got 5.5 by 6. Okay, so I've gone for the Creative Craft Products. It's their gingham folder, which is lovely, and I think it just gives just a nice little bit of detail behind there. And I've just used my construction glue, so it's just going to make this nice and strong. So on the backs of all of these, I popped a little foam tab. Again, if you don't want that much bulk, then just stick them directly down. But I'm going to position them now, as I showed you before, and get them all stuck down. I also use my accent glaze just on the actual pig, so on his face and on the ears. Okay, so that's all my cute little pigs in blankets stuck down. I think they look adorable. Now I want to add like a faux kind of bow on the front. Now I think I'm going to pop it right over maybe over all of it, so it looks like it's wrapping around the card. So I might have it running, or just keep it within the actual frame size. So if you want them to look like they're wrapping right the way around, I mean, you could put a belly band around this, then cut these. You want 2 strips that are, I think it was 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch by either 6 or 5 3/4. It's up to you. Okay, so that's everything stuck down. I popped a little gold frame behind the sentiment there, and I've also added used by the 25th of the 12th 2023. I just typed it up and printed it off on my computer. I just thought it was quite a funny little touch. Super pleased with this. If there's one thing I would change, I would make the aperture smaller, because you can see the white frame through here, which well, Nan, I'm going to probably give this to, she's not going to notice that at all, and probably no one else will either. But for me, and if any other perfectionists out there when we make our cards, I would probably go for a 4-inch squared aperture size, or diameter if you're doing a circle or something. That way you won't see that then when it closes. But it's still, I think, a brilliant card. I really do like this one. When you open it up, you can see the cute little pigs in Brussels sprouts. I love it. It displays really nicely like this as well. I would probably just give that a bit of a burnish along the top there, just a bit better. There we go. So it does stand that way. It's like you're looking through the window, but it also displays really nicely this way as well. So, you know, they can do it either way, it's up to them. And like I said at the beginning, you might have a completely different theme. You can have it like so, and again, you can see it will look nice looking through that way. Space on the back for your message. I'd cut a piece of 5 3/4 squared if you want to add a matte layer, or you can just write directly onto the back there as well. But there's not too much bulk. Like I said, I did add foam pads to the backs of the pigs. If you didn't add that, then it would be pretty flat and it will go through normal post. Again, don't add the foam onto these pieces like I have. So thank you for watching today. I will, as always, I have the products that I've used all linked in the description box below the video. I'll also have some other similar cards coming up now. You might want to watch those next. And if you've enjoyed today and you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, because that way you won't miss out on any future tutorials. And give me a thumbs up as well, because it really does help out the channel. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.